What's going on, everybody? How you doing? My name is Richie DeMarco, Mayor of Hardware and National Closet Guy for Richelieu, and I'm here with three presidents of the ACSP. The current president, Wendy Scott, owner of Boutique Closets. Past president, Joe Leonardo, owner of Bella Systems, New Jersey. And upcoming president and the original closet OG, Eric Marshall, owner of DEA Remodeling in Arizona. So I've been getting a ton of calls, guys, the last couple of weeks from other closet people asking, what's everybody doing? How are they handling the market, the state of the industry, and all of that? So I thought it'd be really cool for all of us to jump on a quick phone call or Zoom meeting, record it, and just explain how some of the leaders in our industry are coping and what they're doing to keep busy and keep their employees safe and all that good stuff. So I am going to allow you guys to say your piece. For just to remind everybody, every state is a little different. Joe and Wendy are based in New Jersey. Eric is in Arizona. So this is not law, but it's just giving you some ideas of what you can do and deal with what's going on right now. So without further ado, what's going on, guys? How are we doing?
Hey, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Great.
So all right, so to kick, let's just kick it off. Wendy, Joe, you guys are in New Jersey. You've been squeezed a little bit sooner than maybe Eric has been. What have you guys, or how are you guys spending your days? What have you guys been doing?
Joe.
So the first thing that we noticed that we had to treat a little bit differently was kind of to quell the fears and address the concerns of our employees. There was kind of a tipping point a few weeks ago where all of a sudden it was on the front of everyone's mind, and our people, they're our team, they're our family. We want to make sure that they're cared for to the best of our ability. So we instituted some of the guidelines. We instituted the guidelines, the CDC guidelines. This includes, literally wiping down the interior of each truck every day. So each morning, that's the first thing we do. It's the last thing we do.
Makes sense.
To try to stop the spread, via transmission in the vehicles. Our employees are only riding one person per vehicle, so we're burning quite a bit of fuel because of this. But we feel that that's a confined space that we can avoid. Each morning, we're taking our employees' temperature and keeping a log to make sure someone's not coming in with temperature. Each one of our employees has their own wipes, so that this way they could use it for themselves, to wash their hands if they're on a job site that doesn't have soap and water. But in addition to our normal installation procedures, at the very last step we do is to wipe down all the product with wipes, with Clorox wipes, to kill any germs that might be on the surface. We've been impacted by, let's say, family members of employees that were sick. As soon as we hear that, we kind of put that employee on the sideline, have them stay home, make sure they get past it. But we've been fortunate; not any of our employees or employees' families have been directly affected by COVID-19 as of yet.
Nice. How about you, Wendy? Are you doing, I'm assuming you're doing a lot of the same. I'm guessing a lot of you guys are doing a lot of the same type of things that Joe has just listed. Is there anything additional, Wendy, that you're doing?
We're really not going into the homes if they're occupied, mainly working off of PDFs, people emailing us design, their measurements, etc. Some new construction we're going into. Construction is a gray area as far as whether you're allowed to or not. And some of the, a lot of new construction is still continuing with our builders saying we just don't want more than 6 vendors in the house at a time. So that's kind of how we've gotten around that a little bit. We have had a lot of installation cancellations. We had one in Manhattan, one in Hoboken. Understandably, those were the first to close down, but then just residents don't want you in the home. So we have to sit on that product and wait for it. Sure.
And you, Eric, I know you were rolling for a while up until yesterday, pretty much, right?
Well, actually, that's not true, because so our governor has mandated a stay at home.
Okay.
But all construction businesses are essential businesses. So it doesn't matter
Okay.
what kind of construction you're in, we're allowed to be in the home. So we're still installing. We sent out trucks this morning. They just left. We're doing some overhead racks and some garage cabinets today. Yesterday we did a gray closet and then a separate laundry room. And we're kind of doing all the same things Joe is doing and kind of doing what Wendy's doing. I haven't doubled up on trucks yet, putting only one person in a truck, but you know, it's funny, DEA is David, Eric, and Aaron, so we're family.
Right.
We're always with each other. The one thing we did do is on our family level is my youngest son actually lives with some roommates. So he's actually moved over to the showroom just to be away from people. So all of us live with family except for him. He was living with 4 other guys in a big house. So he's actually moved over to the showroom and he's using our Murphy bed.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and we have every other thing you need here in the showroom because we're a kitchen cabinet company also. So we have fully outfitted kitchens. He's able to function here well, but it's kept him safe and kept him away from people outside of our business. But yeah, we're totally rolling still. Essential businesses in Arizona include all construction. So even closet companies, which apparently are essential, we can go still work. So in the very beginning, we had 3 installations postponed on us and we rescheduled them for after April. But after yesterday's mandate, they might go farther than that because we've been pushed till April 23rd or something like that right now as a stay-at-home mandate. So if you're not an essential business, you need to stay at home. So the freeways are a lot less people, but there's still people out there. But we're still rolling as regular. The one thing that we did find is that we're not getting the amount of in-home sales calls we were in the past. In fact, the weekend before this all happened, we had a home show, which about 60,000 people came to, and we got nearly 60 leads from that. The first week we saw about 10 of them, but then the 10 on the second week all wanted to reschedule. And we've been calling with those people and we've been calling with our current customers and just trying to keep organized, but nobody wants to see us right now. And that doesn't mean they won't see us in the future. You know, when you're told you can't have a steak, what's the first thing you do when you go and are told you can have a steak? You go get a big fattest steak you could ever buy.
You get 2 of them.
Yeah, 2. I'm assuming as soon as this is all over, those closets are going to get bigger and better than they've ever been. So we're just
I agree. There's going to be so much pent up demand.
Yeah.
I actually in you know my town, they came on, the news came on a couple of nights ago and they told us to stop throwing out so much garbage because the sanitation is working half staffed and they can't keep up. And it's because everybody's home cleaning out their garages, cleaning out their closets. They're bored out of their mind, right?
Spring cleaning has come early.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So I do agree that we're going to bounce back real quickly. Yeah, Joe,
we've been doing a fair number of virtual appointments and it's been working quite well. I think we're going to see that technology linger in our industry even after this pandemic is past us. It's a great tool for designers. You know, it certainly doesn't replace the in-home consultation. It's certainly, you know, getting your measurements, your accurate measurements and such. But to utilize that technology and be comfortable with that technology is something that could last in our industry for quite some time. We're using that quite a bit right now, and we're seeing some success with it.
No, I totally agree. I'm doing it as well. I mean, I know it's a different type of level, but I've had I'm scheduling probably 3 or 4 meetings, a couple of meetings a day that are Zoom meetings. And I find that when everybody comes to the meeting, they're more prepared. Everybody's got an itinerary. They know what they're going to talk about. So to your point, I think that will, you know, especially if you have a lead that's 2 hours away, an initial consultation instead of getting in a car and driving. I mean, you know, 2 hours away in New Jersey during rush hour, that could be 40 miles, right? So it's not really like you're driving out of your territory.
Yeah, and I think there's some important caveats to using that technology. We're all on video today, and we can see each other. I think it's important that when a designer is having a virtual appointment, they leave their camera on. You want the client to see you, and to start developing that relationship that would normally take place organically at an in-home consultation. By you leaving the video on, the chances of your client leaving the video on increases dramatically. You want your client's video on because as you're designing with them, you want to see the expressions on their face. You want to see if they wince or if they light up, you know. So you just have to kind of take the instincts and take your salesmanship that you'd be doing in the home and utilize that via technology.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Anybody else doing virtual? Not yet. I know, Eric, you're not really having that virtual experience yet. Wendy, you doing anything virtually or?
Yeah,
not really yet.
We're slowly getting into that. I've had a couple builders and designers send me plans, just going through, you know, here's your initial 3D rendering, the cost, and then going from there, you know, texting back and forth with different color options. You know, so we're not quite the Zoom type meeting yet, but we're getting there.
Gotcha.
I'm familiar with another closet company in New Jersey. I won't say his name, but he's always done this. He gets the initial plan. He gets his, sends out his estimate and cost, doesn't even step into the house until he's fully vetted them and got them to agree to purchase the closet.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. So there you go.
It's like the next step up.
You could get the partner on the phone, on the video call too. I just realized that, you know, a lot of times we have trouble meeting with both clients. This will maybe bring that into the fold.
True.
That's
true. Good point.
True. And have any of you guys?
I guess the other elephant in the room would be
the other elephant in the room.
I was going to say the other elephant in the room is being in front of and applying for aid that's available now through the CARE Act.
I was just going to ask that question, Joe. What your thoughts
Yeah.
are? I didn't know if you guys wanted to touch on that or not, or what your
I mean,
feelings are on that.
I'm happy to talk about it. It's pretty well publicized. You know, I've actually a few of my industry friends, you know, our network of people were kind of been passing stuff back and forth, even on the ACSP group on Facebook. I posted something, I guess it was over the weekend. The package is pretty extensive. You know, some of the highlights would be for those companies who have employees in our traditional brick and mortar business, you're looking at things like payroll, health insurance, payroll taxes to be covered. They're considering things like rent and utilities, which is great. It may not be a dollar for dollar, but you know, to me, it's just amazing that program was that expansive. But even with those smaller companies that are, you know, self-employed, you know, don't have employees, this is one of the few aid packages that includes that self-employed individual.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not up on that because I don't own a business, but I assume, Wendy, you have the same thing in New Jersey. Is it similar in Arizona? This is a national program, right? So, Eric, you can experience the same thing.
Yeah, it's a national program.
Yep, part of $2 trillion.
And the other thing to keep in mind, the framework of this program was put together by the federal government. We all seen it go through the Senate and the Congress. It's going to be administered by your local bank. So I would encourage anybody who's going to be watching this video, if you have a relationship with your banker, reach out to them and engage them on this topic. It should be, you know, it should be the number one thing they're doing each and every day. If you do not have a personal relationship with a banker, just go to your, you know, email or call the manager of the local branch you go to. And I know we bank with PNC. PNC is estimating, well, actually the program is estimating that you're going to be able to start submitting applications, I think it was by Friday. So we've been working with our banker to kind of get together the documentation needed to apply. It's not very extensive. It's regular payroll reports and things of that nature. Anybody who's self-employed, so let's say you're husband and wife team and you're in this situation, it's going to be 1 week later. So they're saying this Friday for businesses with, you know, standard payroll and stuff to apply, and then next Friday for your self-employed individuals. Like I said, it's certainly welcome right now.
Sure.
The relief that can be found from this. And then the only other thing I could say is that we're trying to keep the framework of the framework and an understanding of what's available at the individual level, so that we can convey that to our employees. So if there's a program that's available for them that's going to help them with deferring their mortgage payment or their rent payment, if programs that they're able to take part in that's going to give them a payment because of their family size or their, how many children they have, we're just trying to stay on top of that information and make sure that's getting out to everyone, so that we're helping our employees kind of be in line to receive that aid. And the only thing that I can tell you that I picked up from this week is if you've not filed your 2018 tax return, so you're still kind of dragging your feet, you're going to want to do that, because they're going to base it on the 2018 tax return. For those who have not yet filed your 2019 tax return, if you've already filed your 2019 return, it's going to be based on your 2019 return. If you've not filed your 2018 return, that's a hard stop. So this is a pretty good reason to be filing that tax return.
Do Eric or Wendy have anything to add? I mean, Joe, that was awesome. You gave a ton of information there. I hope everybody was taking notes. Wendy, Joe, do you have Wendy, Eric, do you have anything to add to that?
No, we're already talking with our banker about it.
You are.
We talked with our CPA yesterday about it. She sent me to the banker. So
Nice.
Joe is right on track with this whole thing.
Nice.
And it's probably money that's not going to have to be paid back. So if you're like, you need to get on it.
There's been one change to what, so initially what came out last Friday, in the rough framework, we were looking at payroll taxes, rent, utilities, things of this nature. As of today, they've pulled back on the rent and utility portion of it because of what they expect, the popularity of tapping into this stimulus plan, that they're talking now at a 25% level for things like rent and utilities.
Okay.
It's still a powerful package. And I guess depending on what the involvement is, you might see, a higher payment or a lower payment for things other than payroll. But let's keep in mind that this particular package was really designed about keeping the employees' wages intact, during these uncertain times. Right.
So, Eric, if you don't have to pay any of this back, I guess next closet show, all the drinks are on you at the bar.
Joe's got the bigger payroll.
So last question for you guys. So are there anything that you guys are doing, Wendy, maybe you could dive in on this, anything that you guys are doing right now that is going to help you when all this pent-up demand does come back? So let's say we are sitting here middle of April, end of April, our leads start to dry up. Maybe even if it's May 1st, our leads start to dry up. Is there anything that you're planning or looking towards doing to kind of just, when this explosion of demand does come back, to be ready for it?
We're still placing orders. We're trying to stay consistent with our social media posting, because that, just creates that trust, like you spoke of on the blog the other day. Mm-hmm. Just staying consistent, reaching out to builders. Hey, how you doing? And then partnering, because we do a lot of our work comes from builders and interior designers, sharing their posts, giving them the support they need, putting it into their direction. So it, it keeps that relationship strong. And that way, when they're ready, and some of them have projects that are pretty far out, so they're still working, they're still sending us stuff. So we have those that are in the pipeline still out there. And then also focusing on the new need, the bigger pantries and, toilet paper storage, home offices, multi-purpose rooms that can, for studying, as well as parents working at home more often. So just working on the need as well.
Thing is huge.
Yeah.
We actually added to our website announcement about COVID and how we're handling with it. And then secondly, we've actually increased our advertising budget right now.
Increase your advertising budget.
Yeah, we doubled our Facebook budget because we think that people are at home on social media right now,
Makes sense.
just watching stuff. So we want to be the ones that are seen. And then we increased our SEO budget by 20% also. Because I think a lot of people are looking right now, even though they're not going to like make an appointment with us, possibly, they're going to have that time when they need those 2 steaks, Joe.
Right.
So we want to be the ones that they look at. So we've increased our advertising budget. So we really feel like that's going to help us when this comes back around, that we're going to be the ones at the top of the page. So
That's smart. That's really smart. Really smart.
So
Joe, anything else
we
to
have
add?
we have 2 initiatives that we're working on. We've had a website project that's long overdue, and we're going to be launching that hopefully in the next week. So with in line with what Eric just mentioned, that people are home, they're looking at these things. We've seen traffic go up dramatically in the last few weeks. So our pretty new website hopefully will help us there. The second thing that we're looking to do, we've not offered this yet in the past, but we are pretty close to having a 0% financing offering. So let's say people have pent up desire to buy. We're Americans, we get past this, like, hey, what can I get? They might be still recovering financially from being out of work or having a disruption in cash flow. So we're hoping that with a 0% financing offering, that could help people, get be able to get their projects now and not have to wait. So those are the things that we're doing to kind of for the next step for when we get past here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I appreciate guys spending your time with me today. Like I said, I know this is going to help the ACSP members. For those of you that are watching and are not part of the ACSP, this is what the ACSP is all about. Everybody's taking time out of the day to help you. This will be up on the ACSP Facebook. And if you're not hanging out there, Wendy is a posting machine. She's up there every day posting. There's a lot of great conversations that happen up there. You can get a ton of information. Everybody's willing to help everybody else. And it's a really nice, tight-knit organization. Any final words from anybody? I want to give you guys your floor. I know, Eric, I don't know, you want to get up and do a dance or anything? I know.
No, but my face is really itchy. So as soon as this is over, I'm itching my face like crazy. I just want to touch it.
I was honestly expecting one of you to show up with a face mask. I really was expecting one of you to come on with a painter's mask or something.
I'm sorry, Sean wasn't invited on this call.
We were going to be doing the Canadian version next week. No, I'm kidding. So, like I said, guys,
my only parting word would be stay safe, everyone.
Yeah,
for sure. Stay safe. And there you have it from 3 presidents of the ACSP, past, current, and future. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank you, Richie.
Give me a smile so I can get this last scene. Hang on.